Alright guys, I'm back with another video. This one I'm making about a series of tweets I saw on Twitter here. This was from a couple days ago, but from @Siri3Ma, talking about Kadokawa's president Takeshi Natsuno said that manga are unable to pass the examination of Google and Apple, so the rules of what is okay or not to express in public must be changed for this era of internet. And they're extremely upset about it, as they should be, because this is one of the things that who gives a shit what Google and Apple think? You know, like one of the reasons that manga is doing well is that they provide a counter to the sanitized bullshit you see from your mainstream here in America. Anyway, but I found this other one. These other tweets, it's actually 18 tweets from @on Takahashi, where he talks about he has a feeling it's more talking the talk and walking the walk. It's more virtue signaling and shit like that. And basically, he goes through in this entire series of tweets talking about basically it's all virtue signaling. It's just them. It's doing your typical mainstream crap of saying, okay, well, you guys, we're good people. Come give us money and things of that nature. Shit that they don't need to be doing, for one, which is it's bad, but it may not be as bad as it originally looked. Because I mean, that guy was talking about censorship and stuff, and I was like, fuck that, we don't need that. Anyway, but yeah, so like I said, he went through and made 18. Oops, I guess there's more here. Yeah, he went through 18 tweets talking about why he believes it's not true. And basically, a lot of recent manga have this. That's what sells. In the past, people had to buy whole ass magazines or tankobons. As publishers, it's kind of hard to gauge which work in a particular magazine do better. Naruto, One Piece, etc. did a lot of the carrying for the magazine sales, but we weren't able to tell exactly how much. Anyway, so basically, it seems because that kind of story was making the rounds. The Kadokawa CEO, who are a huge conglomeration. I've heard some people say that it's like if EA and Apple combined. I mean, they're huge. They got their hands in a lot of things. So basically, talk of censorship coming from them, it's bad. It's bad. But it might just seem as if this is just virtue signaling nonsense, that typical bullshit. Hopefully that's all it is. I wanted to talk about something else. Activision Blizzard has been sued over a reported pervasive frat boy workplace culture that led to charges of harassment and unequal pay. Company executives were supposedly aware of the situation but never did anything about it. Now, it's also coming out that I'm seeing some journalists talking about, oh, yeah, I heard about this. Well, why didn't you fucking say anything then? It's just like the Harvey Weinstein shit. The Harvey Weinstein being a sexual predator and stuff is supposed to have been an open secret in Hollywood. Well, tell us. We don't know about it. If it's an open secret and all these, agents and so on and such forth, nobody had the balls to speak up and say something if people are getting raped and stuff. Now, in this case, I don't know all the details, but supposedly, like, one of the women involved killed herself after being the victim of a tremendous amount of sexual harassment and stuff. And there's so much about this. It's more than I could, talk about in like a couple minutes or whatever. It would be a long story. I just wanted to talk about it because there's a developer here, senior system designer at World of Warcraft, Jeff Hamilton, tweeted out the tumult at Activision has led to virtually no work being done on updating the game. And he talks about he finds their corporate response wholly unacceptable because, of course, a lot of the big wigs have come out and said, "Oh, I didn't know about it. If I did, I'd have stopped it," and all that usual kind of crap, And then he's basically, and he would know because, like says, he's a senior system designer. He said that no work is being done on the game, which, I've heard some people argue that they kind of fell out of World of Warcraft anyway because it just wasn't as fun because of the changes they've made and all this kind of stuff. And some of it's just MMO stuff. But it's just not as good as it used to be, basically. But all I know is I mean, all that anybody truly knows right now is like there's a lot more to come. We don't know what shape this is going to take. Obviously, the Activision people are not gonna. They're not gonna just come around and say, "Yeah, we messed up." You know, we had a horrible culture. You know, I helped create it. You know, it's like you got all kinds of issues to work out here. I just thought it was one of those things because I see some people drawing comparisons between like Activision Blizzard and Hollywood, like with the Harvey Weinstein stuff. Because some people have said that it was an open secret at Activision Blizzard that there was this huge frat boy culture and sexual harassment was everywhere and stuff. And it's like if that's true, why didn't you say anything? I'm talking about like the journalists and stuff. I'm not talking about the people inside Activision. I understand that they got their jobs and so on and so forth, but you can't tell me that if you work for any of these places, your IGNs, your Kotakus, your GameSpots, your whatever, you can't make a story about it. It's gonna get swept under the rug. I mean, come on. And to that end, basically, Kotaku put out a story today. Says new Unreal Engine renders even more realistic grizzled white men. It's written by Mike Fahey, which, by the way, I believe they'll show it. Here's my response. That's what Mike Fahey looks like. So he's an old grizzled white man. He even says that in the article. But he's talking about just shitting all over this stuff. Which, by the way, they've also put out. It's from the Coalition, by the way, from Gears of War. This, they've put out a video about the changes they can make, and there's versions of it with POC in it, people of color and women and stuff. And it's like for this guy to just shit all over it, it's like, dude, and going back to the whole Activision Blizzard thing again, you can't sit there and tell me that if it was if somebody came to Fahey or came to somebody at Kotaku and you see this kind of bullshit, not as blatant or overt, but you see that kind of shit on, IGN and GameSpot and all these other places. But like if somebody went to Kotaku with a story about how Activision Blizzard was sexually harassing all these women and stuff, they would have jumped all over it. Man, you gotta be kidding me. So this talk about open secrets and stuff, it's like that to me. It means that you got no balls, you got no standards, you got no, you've got no principles. It's like you talk the talk, but you won't walk the walk. You'll talk about how, oh, we're so diverse and we're all about representation and we're all about believing the victims and all this kind of stuff. But then all this stuff comes out and you're nowhere to be found. Anyway, I don't want to just start rambling. This is already an 8-minute video. I'll go ahead and just wrap it up here. Just more examples of the mainstream game journalism media or just mainstream media in general just being pieces of shit. Anyway, thanks very much for watching and have a good day.